Hey guys, Ghostman Sean B. Somewhere down the haunted back roads. Such a beautiful day here in Indiana. And once again, I'm coming at you from a special place, the old historic district of Irvington, right inside of Indianapolis, Indiana, but hidden, stuck away from reality. Today's story is the tragedy and victory of a lady named Madge in the fall of D.C. Stevenson and the Indiana KKK. So sit back, relax, will you? Let me take it from here. I'm your host, Ghostman Sean B, and these are my haunted back roads. Yes, the Bona Thompson Historical Society right here in the district of Irvington, inside of Indianapolis, Indiana. The place has been so helpful to history buffs like me and haunted salty dogs. Always looking to find answers to hauntings and places I visit. Remember, guys, if you're into ghosts or anything like that, history is your best friend. To find out who, what, where, or who might be doing those midnight whispers in the hallway when nobody appears to be there, or the closet doors mysteriously slamming, or the cat going crazy, you have to first learn your history and connect the dots. Anyway, you guys can see the old streets, sidewalks, beautiful old houses, some smaller, some larger mansions, all historic. And almost all these out here have a story to tell. As you can see, Irvington's a very weird place. You have rows of beautiful, beautiful old homes, winding streets. Perhaps that's why they named it after Sleepy Hollow. See down that street right there? It looks like a little sleepy village, no? Yeah, I think so. That's why I moved out here. And you have gigantic, ginormous buildings like the Bona Thompson Memorial Historical Building. Amazing place, amazing people. And right here on these streets, they have countless little festivals for no reason at all. Just things to get people together on a Sunday. Last year, I think I was right on this street, and there was a man picking his guitar right here, playing Jimmy Buffett songs, and the whole street here was lined with people enjoying ice cream. The Black Hat Society inside the Historical Society, which is the recognized coven of witches here in Irvington, was inside doing some kind of thing. So cool, though. So cool. But I digress. You see that place? That's where today's story is heading. A grand house at 5432 University Avenue was built in 1889 for Indiana attorney and Civil War veteran William H. Graham and his beautiful wife Ellen. However, he would only enjoy his mansion a short while before passing away in 1906, leaving poor Ellen alone in a huge home. With William gone, Ellen invited her sister to live with her and rented out the occasional room. But the house was it was just too big for her to handle. Now in her 70s, in 1920, Ellen decided to rent out her stately mansion to the Kappa Kappa Gamma sorority and later Phi Delta Theta fraternity of Butler University, then only a half block away. You guys can see the old Butler Library right behind me, guys. That's now the Irvington Historical Society. After only 5 years of housing students, Mrs. Graham finally opted to sell the mansion, a decision that would seal the infamy and add a second surname to the house's identity. While it's uncertain that she knew the background of the character of the Texan who bought her house, she did live long enough to see his misdeeds play out in the papers, passing away in 1940 at the old age of 93. The house's new owner, one David Curtis Stevenson, was born in Houston, Texas in 1891. He worked as a printer's apprentice as a youth, enlisted in the Army, and served as a second lieutenant during World War I. He finally moved to Evansville, Indiana in 1920, working with a retail coal company. While in Evansville, Stevenson was recruited by fellow Texan Joseph Huffington to join the Ku Klux Klan, a white supremacy organization that had died off since its post-Civil War origins. But it was refounded in 1915 by William J. Simmons and again grown in power by 1920. Stevenson relocated to Indianapolis in 1922, where he helped to grow the scope of the Indiana Klan, offering Protestant ministries free membership and helping to create the Klan newspaper, The Fiery Cross. When Klan recruiter Hiram Evans unseated Simmons as the Imperial Wizard of the National KKK in a ceremony attended by over 100,000 people, Evans appointed Stevenson as the Grand Dragon of the Indiana Klan. As the Klan grew in Indiana, Stevenson's power began to extend both to the State House and City Hall, backing the elections of Governor Edward Jackson and Mayor John Duvall. At the height of his power in Indianapolis, Stevenson bought Mrs. Graham's mansion on University Avenue and immediately renovated it. Stevenson tore down the one-story column porch and added a two-story iconic portico, its grand columns portraying the sense of power that DC had come to enjoy. However, his time in the mansion would be even shorter-lived than Mrs. Graham's. Though Stevenson was an outspoken prohibitionist and defender of Protestant womanhood, behind closed doors, he was an alcoholic and a sexual predator, reportedly hosting booze-filled orgies, like the movie Eyes Wide Shut, in his new mansion. Twice divorced, his first wife while pregnant in 1917, and Beatty's second, divorcing her in 1922. Stevenson gave a glimpse of what was to come in Columbus, Ohio, where he was establishing Klan offices. At the Deschler Hotel, a whiskey-fueled Stevenson had offered the staff manicurist $100 to have sex with him. When she refused, he said, "You will, or I'll kill you." The manicurist escaped his room, and Stevenson escaped prosecution. Returning in 1925 while attending the January 12th inauguration party for the Klan, supported Governor Edward Jackson, Stevenson met a beautiful 28-year-old Madge Oberholzer and immediately began to pursue her. She had attended Butler, worked with the Indiana Department of Public Instruction, and lived with her parents. She and Stevenson began dating. She served as his aide and helped him to open a book on nutrition titled 100 Years of Health. On March 15th, she received a message that Stevenson was leaving for Chicago and needed to see her at once. She was picked up by one of his bodyguards and taken to University Avenue House. Stevenson, roaring drunk, forced her to drink as well and insisted she travel to Chicago with him. She was taken to the Union Station, forced into his private compartment, and suffered a northbound trip of nightmares. Bitten, chewed, and pummeled, the two never made it to Chicago, instead staying in Hammond, Indiana, where they checked into a hotel. The next morning, under the pretense of purchasing a hat and makeup at a drugstore, Oberholzer instead bought mercury chloride tablets, intended to take the entire box, but only managed to choke down 3. Upon discovering what she had done, Stevenson panicked and had the two of them driven back to Indianapolis and had her dropped off by his bodyguards, telling her parents she had been in a car accident. Summoning their family doctor, she told him she didn't expect, nor did she want to get well. After some time, she related the whole terrible event. 1 month later, on April 14th, 1925, Madge Oberholzer died officially from mercury poisoning, though her doctor later testified that the injuries inflicted by Stevenson were enough to be fatal on their own. County Prosecutor William Remy, one of the few public officials not in Stevenson's pocket, charged the Klansman with rape, kidnapping, and second-degree murder, for which he was convicted after an ugly trial. Abandoned by the very city officials that helped elect Stevenson, Stevenson released records on public officials who had been on the Klan payroll to the Indianapolis Times, who received Pulitzer Prize for their investigation into the Klan corruption. Stevenson's trial and the ensuing political scandal was the death knell for the Klan in Indiana. Its membership dwindling as fast as it has swelled throughout the 20s. I love walking these white picket fence streets of these old historic neighborhoods all over the United States. History never forgets. It stays with us all the time. And ghosts walk our streets. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm your host, Ghostman Sean B, and these are my haunted back roads. Have a great day, everybody.